Lex Luthor has everything. Wealth, genius, influence. He is the man Metropolis bows to, or at least he believes it should. But then, Superman arrived. A man from the stars, who could move mountains with his bare hands, see through walls, fly faster than sound itself. And suddenly, in a city that once whispered Lex Luthor's name in awe, they cheered for someone else. From the moment Clark Kent pulled open his shirt, revealing that blazing S, Lex saw more than a hero. He saw the end of everything he had built. Because to Lex, Superman is not a savior. He is a threat. A being so powerful that no human law can restrain him, no army can match him, and no mind, not even Lex's own genius, can truly control him. But here's the truth. It's not just fear of power that consumes Lex. It's fear of irrelevance. For years, Lex believed humanity's greatest hope was human ingenuity. Our ability to build, to think, to overcome. And in his mind, he was the pinnacle of that dream. The perfect example of what mankind could achieve without gods, without destiny, without aliens coming from the sky. But Superman's very existence shatters that belief. If humanity will always look up to the sky for a savior, what place is left for men like Lex? And so, he refuses to bow. He refuses to see Superman as a symbol of hope. Instead, he paints him as a tyrant in waiting. A wolf wearing the mask of a shepherd. Today he saves you, Lex whispers in speeches. But tomorrow? What happens when he decides to rule you? This paranoia becomes his obsession. Every weapon, every plan, every sleepless night in his tower. All of it dedicated to one purpose. Proving that Superman is not humanity's savior, but its greatest danger. Yet underneath the speeches and the schemes lies something deeper. Lex Luthor fears Superman because, no matter how much wealth he gathers, no matter how many inventions he creates, he can never be what Superman is. Invincible, beloved, eternal. And that truth, that cruel truth, is the one enemy Lex Luthor cannot outsmart. But if he cannot be greater than Superman, then he will do the only thing left. He will destroy him. Power. That is the word at the heart of Lex Luthor's fear. Most people look at Superman's powers with wonder. The strength to lift entire buildings. The speed to outrun light itself. The vision to see through lies, and the breath to freeze storms. But Lex sees something darker. He sees a god living among men. And in his eyes, gods do not inspire hope, they demand obedience. Think of history. Every empire that rose, every conqueror who marched across the world, believed themselves untouchable. To Lex, Superman is no different. Only this time, the conqueror doesn't need armies. He is an army. A one-man apocalypse. And if one man holds that kind of power, who is truly free? This is the core of Lex's fear. If Superman ever decided to stop pretending, if he ever grew tired of saving instead of ruling, there is nothing humanity could do to stop him. Even Batman, with all his contingency plans, knows the danger. But while Batman's fear comes from caution, Lex's fear comes from envy. Because here's the uncomfortable truth. Lex doesn't just fear Superman. He resents him. Resents that people worship him like a god. Resents that no matter how brilliant Lex is, no matter how many lives he claims to improve, the crowd will always cheer louder for the man in the cape. To Lex, Superman is not proof of hope. He is proof that humanity will never outgrow its need for gods. And that idea terrifies him more than kryptonite ever could. So his crusade continues. Lex builds wars in secret. He crafts machines that mimic gods. He even allies with monsters because in his mind, the ends justify the means. He tells himself it is for humanity's sake. That he must protect mankind from its greatest mistake. Trusting Superman. But is that the truth? Or is it just pride? The desperate pride of a man who cannot stand the idea that someone else will always shine brighter than him? Here lies the paradox of Lex Luthor. He fears Superman because of what he might do. But he hates him because of what he already is. A symbol. An ideal. A reminder that no matter how high Lex climbs, there will always be someone above him. And in the end, that is the one thing Lex Luthor cannot accept. For to him, Superman is not a hero, not a savior, not even a man. Superman is the cage that keeps Lex from being the greatest of all time. And as long as the Man of Steel lives, Lex will never rest. Because fear does not fade. It festers. It grows. And in the heart of Lex Luthor, it becomes war. So the question remains, is Lex truly afraid of what Superman might become? Or is he more afraid of what he himself will never be? And maybe that is the greatest tragedy of all. Because in another world, another life, Lex Luthor and Superman could have stood side by side. Human genius and alien strength. Mind and might. Together, unstoppable. But that world will never exist. Not while fear and pride rule Lex Luthor's heart. And so the battle continues. A battle not just of fists and machines, but of philosophy itself. One man fighting to prove that mankind can rise on its own. The other fighting to show that hope, no matter its source, can save us all. Two titans locked in endless war. And deep down, Lex knows the truth he cannot say aloud. The reason he fears Superman so much is because he knows Superman may be right. So what do you think? Is Lex Luthor humanity's last defense? Or just a man too consumed by his own ego to see the truth? If you enjoyed this deep dive into the mind of Superman's greatest enemy, make sure to subscribe, because we've only scratched the surface of the legends, secrets, and rivalries waiting in the world of DC and Marvel. Stick around, because next time, we'll uncover the hidden truths behind another character's rise and their fall.